In the prior episode,
I love me some bush. That's my favorite thing.
and this is next.
Fantastic detective work, Nancy. Shame about those genitals, or you'd be a great cop. I hate it here. Where the hell were we? Welcome back to the Crimson Diamond. This is, I think, the 9th episode in the playlist that'll show up in the little eye in the corner. Took a week off to deal with life shit. I needed to do that. This isn't my job. My job is my job. And my life is my life. Okay, I'm remembering that we went out and found a bunch of hidden footprints. It's a cool Diablo 3 joke. And we were able to deduce that Nessa and Jack were dragging or struggling with Evan's body in the on the way to the smokehouse. So now we have to examine the smokehouse. We can also review just to see where we were. It's up to me to figure out what's happened in here. Can I link anyone to what's gone on inside the smokehouse? What are all these fragments on the table? So we got table fragments. Maybe I should take a closer look at the floor. What about the walls? Anything informative there? Okay, let's examine table. There are jagged fragments of Jordan almonds scattered all over the table. Why in the world would Jordan almonds be in the smokehouse? Dust almonds. You carefully dust the Jordan almond fragments for fingerprints, and amazingly, you're able to recover a partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. You look at the Jordan almonds, whatever. Aha! I've revealed a partial fingerprint in one of the larger fragments of Jordan almond. I know that Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be that these were used against him? This looks bad. All right, so collect fingerprint. Collect almond fingerprint. You carefully apply the tape, etc. We've done this many times before. You mark the back of this fingerprint as evidence taken from shattered Jordan almonds. Does it say? If it's forced smokehouse, tell your mark about your Margot investigation. Which I did do that. Field fingerprints on the decanter. Partial almond print. So maybe that doesn't help. Can we take a look at it? Fingerprint decanter. Examine from everyone at the lodge. What this one? Thumbprint cast on hardened wax. Is there one where it's like a partial fingerprint? Feel the fingerprint overturned drinking glass. Decanter was Evan and Nessa. Helpful collection of fingerprints obtained from everyone at the lodge. Very interesting places too. Okay. Anything else on the table? The table is clearly used to prepare the meat before it's preserved. Countless cuts and scratches mark its surface, and it's stained by blood and ash. Oh yeah, so shards. Those are the almonds. Handful of Jordan almonds, colorful, unpalatable, harder than most rocks you've studied. Okay, L floor. See tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. You can barely make out some yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse. Do I also see some crumbs? Did Mother come in here and eat but leave crumbs? Oh. But examining it, it makes you get closer. Thanks to my loop, thanks to your loop, I don't know why I said my there. Thanks to your loop, you can clearly see that the yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse are from hempen rope. The fibers have broken off into small twisted strands, possibly caused by friction. What or who could have done this? Was it a bee? Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Uh-oh. You can also clearly see some cookie crumbs on the floor. These look like crumbs from the cookies that Jack was baking earlier. I even see bits of jam. Interesting. Examine barrel. My barrel for solid beat. They're not different. L walls. The rough stone walls of the smokehouse, much like the floor, have been blackened by smoke. You can just barely make out a symbol low on the wall and under the table. What could that be? There's a symbol marked in something sticky and red on the smokehouse wall. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled with a red substance. What the fuck? Uh-oh. I wonder what the symbol is painted with. It's definitely not paint. It's sticky, drippy red and a bit chunky. Eek. Can I examine it with like... Smell symbol. Wonder if you'll regret it. You carefully smell the dripping, sticky looking red symbol on the wall. Oh, smells like raspberries. Well, that's a relief. It's raspberry jam. It's like, yeah, Huck. So why did you... Yeah, I figured because there's cookies, but why did Evan or what the fuck? What the fuck? Bag of salt didn't open, revealing coarse rock salt inside. Tiny colors materials from the salt sample aren't salt, as they didn't dissolve in water earlier. And the insoluble crystals look a little like octahedrons, but these are a little too small for me to examine properly with my loupe. Oh, yeah. We said that before. No, we already did that. Wait, am I supposed to like do this? Hold on. Can I like loop? Right. Is there something else I can loop? Can I loop the... I loop the button. A little too small. Have their follicles and they remove some force. Only Nessa has hair like us. Oh, I never did that. Take a closer look at the scuffs in the area north of the jetty. Brittle and split. Seem to be thinning and falling out too. Oh. I never did that. Never did that. What? Disconcertingly smooth. Nothing scratches indomitable shell. Yeah, we did this. Glacial sample. It is granite. Wait. Sample has a phonetic texture. That means the crystals that make up its boulder can be seen by the naked eye. It's composed mostly of quartz and some feldspar, which is typical. Interesting. There's more notes in my book from examining my inventory. I don't think I've done with my examining this side smokehouse more closely. I need a way to tie Nessa or Corvus to the scene. Finding fingerprints would be great, but there aren't many smooth surfaces in here. Oh, right. I'm supposed to, like, dust symbol. Dust wall. Dust table. What am I? So big bag of salt barrel pot. Okay, let's take a look at the pot. Probably used for some stage of food preparation. You're not knowledgeable in these processes. Benefit from, okay. So, set me to fear. Oh, I'm not trying to leave. God. No, I'm trying to go to the. Calm. Remain calm. We're just playing the Crimson Diamond. Something happened with the table and the symbol. I mean, for allergy purposes, we did that. Okay. All right. What am I missing? So we have fibers from this. Somebody was tied up. There's cookie crumbs. With the aid of the loop, you conclude that the crumbs are probably from the thumbprint cookies you saw Jack baking earlier. I can even see that some of the crumbs have been bright red raspberry jam on them. Who would bring thumbprint cookies into the smokehouse? Nobody. They were in Evan's pockets. Because he likes to put them in his pockets because he's fucking gross. And he wrote the symbol. Oh my God. I mean, I found a fingerprint. Compare fingerprints. There we go. You examine the fingerprint you revealed in the smokehouse compared to your collection of fingerprints you've obtained from the lodge inhabitants. After completing the partial fingerprint you obtained from the Jordan almond pieces, you conclude Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. Aha! I think I figured it out. Nessa crushed the Jordan almonds on the table. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be she was trying to weaponize them against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. Judging from the frayed rope fibers, Mr. Richards could have been tied up in the smokehouse after he disappeared from the jetty. I think Mr. Richards partially freed himself and painted a symbol with raspberry jam. He took care to conceal the symbol under the table. It could indicate where he was taken next. The symbol looks like the thumbprint cookies that I saw Jack baking, and their middles were filled with raspberry jam. So he's in the raspberry garden. Right? I remember Jack saying that Mr. Richards likes saying to stash the cookies in his pockets. And I did find cookie crumbs on the floor in the smokehouse. I know that another name for thumbprint cookies is hallongrata. Hallongrata means raspberry cave in Swedish. So if Mr. Richards is trying to help people find him, then he's in a place that would be like a raspberry cave? Garnets. He must have been taken to the garnet mines. Yeah. Okay. I'll go along with this. What's Nessa planning? I don't have a good feeling about this. I'll talk to Jack and Nathan. Maybe they can help. Must go find the men. Finding the men. Let's save. We just did a whole bunch of finding the men. Where do we think the men are? Kitchen? That's where they belong, right? Get in the kitchen. Oh, they're not there. It was leafing through them. It looks like he's looking for papers tucked inside them, not having much luck. Can I eavesdrop? What if I close the door? With drinking glass. Oh, okay. Okay. What do you think happened to Mr. Richards? Nancy, not right now. What the fuck? Nancy, not right now. You breathlessly tell Nathan and Jack. Wait, no, hold on. I was like asking him about it and he was like, no, not right now. But I goofed that up. Whatever. You breathlessly tell Nathan and Jack about your theory about what happened in the smokehouse, ending with your belief that Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines. You think Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines? Those have been sealed shut for decades. Which makes them a perfect place to hide someone. Uh-oh. We should drive out there and check just in case. Agree. We'll take some time to prep the automobile. To the carriage house! Sorry, my voice cracked there. I don't know. I thought I properly hydrated, but I'll meet you there. I'm going to fetch the Ranger Murdoch. Or just Ranger Murdoch. I don't know why I put the definitive article in there. He's just... Whatever. Stay put here in the lodge, Nancy, in case Mr. Richards comes back. Going to do manly things like save the day. Woman stay here in the study. Too dangerous. Well, I didn't like that song one bit. Well, I'm certainly not just going to wait around here. I'll convince Jack and Nathan to take me with them. They'll need all the help they can get. But before I head out, should I check with the other folks in the lodge? Maybe. Maybe they heard something. Like, Kimmy is quite the eavesdropper. She knows more than they let on, right? Oops. Can you sleep? You can't talk to her right now. Well, fuck. Good night. Is there anything we can search in here? Any belongings of Nessa's? We felt like I've already searched all this stuff, and she like didn't unpack at all. I remember that, but yeah. Okay. What's happened here? Albert's room is a mess. Clothes are hanging haphazardly in the wardrobe. The wastepaper basket is stuffed full of papers, and all of his luggage is gone. Oh. Wardrobe still has some clothes simply draped on sloppily draped on some hangers. There's something under the bed too, I see it. You can see some crumpled papers in the wastepaper basket. They don't appear to have anything written on them. There's a strip of telegraph tape lying just outside the wastepaper basket on the carpeted floor. What was it? Thin strip of paper lying beside. Examine strip. It's a strip of telegraph tape. It's tape, that's what they called it. Much like the one Jack picked up from the train station. The telegraph reads as follows. Carl L. Proceed to Sue Locks with package. Deliver package by 3 a.m. Await further instructions. Well done in crimson. Well done in crimson? What could that mean? And who on earth is Carl L.? We're taking that paper. Take the crumpled papers out of the waste paper basket. Wait, really? Just take them? First, the papers look blank, but on closer examination, you see faint indentations in them. How do I read them? Can I dust the papers? Oh my god. Aha! Powdering the crumpled papers reveals some handwriting indentations. Sick. That was sick. That was sick. After darkening the indentations, you can read most of the writing on these crumpled papers. It's clear that Albert wrote on papers that were on top of these ones, not thinking anyone would be able to detect these faint marks. The first page is a mineralogical report written by Albert, declaring that in his opinion the area around this crimson is rich with diamonds. I saw Albert handing Nessa a yellow envelope, and she appeared to pay him well for it. It would be in Nessa's favor if it at least appeared that this land had diamonds on it. She could sell it for far more should it come to her possession. Seems to me that Nessa paid Albert to write this mineralogical report. She could sell the land and become extremely wealthy. Wait a minute. The second page is another report written by Albert, and this one says that the area around Crimson has no diamonds at all. I hid in that canoe in the bathhouse and heard Nathan buying a mineralogical report from Albert. I'm sure Mr. Richards, Nathan, and Jack would prefer things stay as they were here in Crimson. So that version of the mineralogical report was written, concluding no diamonds, and Nathan paid Mr. Respa to write it. Which version of the report is true? And why would Mr. Respa make two versions in the first place? I'm taking that tape. Pick up the strip of telegraph paper. I'm taking that tape. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Red cylinder is partially hidden under Elva's bed. Trying to examine the cylinder more closely while it's still under the bed isn't yielding any additional information. Okay, well. You reach down and retrieve the red cylinder from Albert's bed. Uh-oh. I think this is a stick of dynamite. Yup. It's a stick of dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Dynamite is not a standard piece of mineralogical equipment. It's dynamite. Examining it more closely wouldn't make you feel any better. Quite the opposite, in fact. Well, I just have dynamite on my person. I hope that doesn't explode. Albert stored some of his things in the blue trunk in the upstairs closet. I wonder if anything was left behind. Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. Oops. Oh! The big blue trunk's lid is up and the padlock is hanging open. I wonder what was stored in here. Blue trunk is partially open. Oh, wasn't Mr. Respa storing his things in here? You peer into the blue trunk. There are some old, threadbare linens lining the interior, obscuring the trunk's bottom. But by feeling around inside, you discover a bullet and a blasting cap. My father was in construction. I know a blasting cap when I see one, but why would Albert put these in here? Jack let Albert store his things in the trunk. He wanted to lock this all away. The same as how he demanded to stay in Jack's room, the only bedroom with a lock. It seems like Albert was concerned about keeping his secrets. And he's armed? Uh-oh. He was carrying dynamite with him too. It was wise of him to store the dynamite and blasting caps separately. He seems to know more about demolition than mineralogy. So I'm not going to take that blasting cap, am I? Don't take the cap. Let's take that cap. So we have this blasting cap. What does this do? It's a tin of blasting caps used to detonate larger explosives. There's only one left. I think I'm getting the bigger picture here. Albert isn't who he says he is. I believe he's headed to the Sulaks to sabotage them with explosives. And I found a bullet and a blasting caps in the blue trunk. Albert is probably armed and is fairly well acquainted with how to use explosives, seeing as he knew to store his dynamite and blasting caps separately. This doesn't bode well. And I think he tossed my luggage out of the train to eliminate my field kit so I couldn't interfere with his sham field work. I need to head to the carriage house to tell Jack and Nathan and Ranger Murdoch. Anyway, let's save again just in case. Just in case we explode. You know. How do I? You can't use detonate in this game. I want to blow my... I want to blow this joint. Oh, can I take the bullet? You're no expert on guns, but this definitely is a bullet of some kind. Can I, like, replace a bullet later with an almond? Interesting. Okay, so we gotta... Jack has set up the spare room as makeshift bedroom for Ranger Murdoch. Salmon couch. Okay. I wanted to see if we could see Ranger Murdoch's sweet, sweet booty print on the couch. You open the door and you go outside. Okay, so we just saved, so I'm not too worried. We have to get to the carriage house immediately. Okay, or go up. Okay. Hopefully we don't get shot in the woods. Oh! What's this? The double door has been thrown wide open. You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed. Jack, what's going on?
The automobile's gone, Nancy.
I can see that. Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You hear a rumbling. Is that thunder?
Nope. That's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know about on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go!
Right.
It's gonna be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff.
Decently well?
It'll be fine, Nancy. Just hang on tight.
You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine. Oh, hell yes. This is dope. Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry we couldn't meet under better circumstances. I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified, seeing as we're kind of a foreign entity just sort of rampaging all across your home turf and, you know, just being horrible colonialists.
Evan's in danger. I will help my friend. We can figure out the rest later.
I will safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation. I promise.
That doesn't... God, this is bullshit. Let's deal with that later.
Unbelievable. I think Albert's stolen the automobile.
You do? What makes you think so, Miss Lady Nancy?
Why do people say things like that? Albert's luggage is gone and his room's a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage, and Jack said it was very heavy.
It sure was.
There's no way he could have handled all that luggage himself unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving to the Sulaks to destroy it. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy. And his name might actually be Carl L. for Karl Lagerfeld. I think he's actually influential fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld. That would explain all the sexism. Carl L? Where did you hear that name? I found this telegraph tape, a stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And I found a bullet and a blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed and dangerous. Fantastic detective work, Nancy. Shame about those genitals or you'd be a great cop. I hate it here. I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat. Oh, also, I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk. And he's knowledgeable with explosives. He was storing the blasting cap and dynamite separately. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous. Got it. I'll keep all of that in mind when we confront him, Nancy, and I'll give him a stern talking to. Thank you very much. Please be careful. I will. I'll tell you how it goes in the afterlife. Because we'll never meet again. Cardinal, I don't know why I decided to add that detail. Cardinal, could you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the Sulaks as soon as possible.
Of course, but first to the garnet mines. They're closer.
Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert would take some hours to arrive at his destination.
Hell yes. That was an excellent sequence. Nathan stops his automobile as close to the garnet mines as he dares. The ground is rugged, and any roads leading to and from the area have fallen into disrepair many years ago. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for Evan could be dire. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. Uh-oh. Excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Nessa and Corvus took Evan. Oh no, my theory's wrong.
Nancy, wait a minute. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention, this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful.
Chapter 6, Confrontations. How are we gonna get in?
I don't know, but I'm gonna grab that shovel and start digging.
I have an idea. Jack starts digging in the rubble at the mine entrance. I've got to help Jack with this. Game has auto-saved. Well, chapter 690. Unfortunately, this is where we must end. I must sit and watch Jack dig rubble for a week. There's nothing I could possibly do to help there. Thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. It feels like we're getting close to the end of this game. Let me know in the comments if there's any other game you would like me to play / narrate / deduce / make weird mouth noises to. That would be a lot of help. I've got some ideas, but I'm not really going to be sure what I'm going to do until we get there. But thank you so much for having watched. If you don't mind leaving a little bit of engagement on the video, some likeage, subscribeage, whatever, that shit, you know what the deal is. Help Nancy out. Help her out. Look at her. She needs it. Okay, bye.